In a political first, Finance Minister Jim Flaherty has gone back to school for some advice from future voters about some of Canada's big issues. Laurie Graham has the details.
An afternoon civics class at Canterbury High School in Ottawa. Today's lesson, the federal budget.
If you could speak to our finance minister to spend some of that $248 billion, where would you want him to spend it?
Roads and things.
I think that they should put it more into research.
Politics is a tough sell to a teenager. I think it's a tough sell to adults.
If we run a federal deficit, which means
a similar lesson at Forest Lawn High School in Calgary. For some, all this budget talk, revenues, deficits, expenditures is a little heavy first thing in the morning.
Pretty much, we pay taxes and they spend it. That was what I knew.
But a new course is trying to engage students to get involved in the upcoming federal budget.
The ultimate goal here is to get these kids to vote, and we think that if they learn more about budgets, come to understand the issues, they'll develop a political opinion and they'll act on it during the time of election.
Hi, I'm Jim Flaherty, Canada's Minister of Finance.
Even the finance minister has bought in. He's featured in a series of YouTube videos explaining in basic terms the government's purse.
Because Canada's budget affects your life and your future.
The biggest threats to our economy.
In 460 classrooms across the country, students are learning the basics.
We're learning about the budget and taxes.
I knew there was a budget. I didn't know anything about it.
While the finance minister decides his priorities for the spring budget, students are under pressure to come up with their own and submit them before the deadline.
I actually disagree with his opinion of...
After a series of lessons, lots of discussion and debate.
If I were the finance minister, I would spend my tax dollars more on education and healthcare especially.
I would take into consideration what everybody says. I know that's hard.
I would definitely spend more money on the environment.
If I were finance minister, I would spend less money on the military.
I am finance minister, and I want to have jobs and growth in Canada now and in the future.
Flaherty may hold the strings to the government's purse, but he says he's keen to know which ones the students would like him to pull.
We should listen broadly to young people, and to have this mechanism that they've created, which I think is fabulous, in order to communicate with the government is a good thing.
Right now, students are using this program to communicate, but soon they'll do it on their own when they vote.
When I start voting, I know what I'm voting for. I'm not just voting because they're right-leaning or left-leaning, but because I know how they're going to deal with Canada's money.
It's the first year for this program, and it fits neatly into the curriculum by turning classroom lessons into real-life decisions. Laurie Graham, CBC News, Ottawa.